pleasure to introduce Olivia Porretta, who's an animator, and we're going to find out all about what you have done for an organization called amaze.org, which in a nutshell, it's about teens helping teens. So you're animating for a world in which you guys live online.
Yeah.
You know, you live on Facebook and Twitter, and Amaze starts out really navigating the idea of teens talking about their bodies, about cyberbullying, about sex, if I should say so. And the animation that you did, you were 16 years old, now you're 17.
Now I'm 17.
But how did you start out as an animator? And we're going to see your piece in just a second, but how did you start doing that, Olivia?
Well, I've always been interested in animation ever since I was like pretty young. I would, in 5th grade, I would like spend my indoor recesses like drawing like comics and like stories.
So from page, like a storyboard.
Exactly, like a storyboard. And and I got invested in, I got interested in all these different shows on on TV, like, Adventure Time, Cartoon Network, and I just, I found that on YouTube, and ever since I've been like hooked on animation.
You're a junior at Staples High School.
Yes.
And you're taking a lot of art classes now. Yes. How was it that you decided to take animation and bring a message to kids? And this amaze.org is about between 10 and 14 years of age to talk about all these topics in a fun way. How did you get involved with amaze.org?
Well, I had the opportunity to meet this guy named Kimson Albert, and he's an animation director. He worked at Titmouse at the time, and this is when I was like just about to start my freshman year, and I got the opportunity to take a tour around Titmouse Studios in New York, and I got to see all the animators doing their work. I got to see like all the work that was behind the animation, the concepts, like all that kind of really cool stuff. And I got to show them some of my work as well, and they were
exciting.
Really, it was awesome.
Are there artists in your family, Olivia?
Yeah, my dad.
And what does your dad do?
My dad works at Gartner, and he makes a lot of advertisements. He does a lot of animation as well. But me and him, we're like artist buddies. Like my whole family like loves the arts and like writing and all that kind of stuff. But me and him, we go out and we go to the studio and we just draw together and we talk about projects that we're doing. And he was a really big help on this project, and he's just awesome.
Well, you mentioned the project, so let's take a look at what you did.
Of course. Yeah.
Hey, have you started that project?
What? Oh, yeah, well,
What's the matter? Who are you talking to?
It's, just someone who started texting me online a while back. I don't know, they're really nice. And they're, thinking we could go see a movie and...
Francis, you're not planning on meeting a stranger you met on the internet, are you?
Did somebody say the internet? Come with me!
What? Whoa!
Where are we?
Don't worry, friends. I'm an internet helper. I've made it my life goal to help kids learn that there are dangers on the internet.
Wait, what now?
Don't worry, I'm your friend. Here's a little informative video for you youngsters.
The internet. It may seem like a fantastic place, but beware. There are internet predators at every twist and turn. The one solution? Don't go on the internet. Read a bike. Ride a book.
Hold up. Stop the video.
Yes? Do you have a question, little girl?
What are you saying? Yeah, you may be right that there are predators lurking on the internet. There's a lot of dangerous people out there who want to spread hatred or find someone who's vulnerable. But you can't just tell kids to not go on the internet. First of all, it's a really important place for us to do our schoolwork. The internet is also a great place to explore your identity, share your art and writing, and have really meaningful conversations with others. The important thing is knowing how to navigate it safely and have people you can rely on if you feel like you're in trouble. I I guess that's what I wish I knew a year ago. A boy, who I thought was really nice, asked me to send him a picture of me in my underwear. I just really liked him and wanted him to think I was cool, so I did it. A week later, he posted it online. People began messaging me, insulting the way I looked. I was devastated. I knew that I had to do something. I didn't really feel comfortable telling my parents, so I told my English teacher instead. She provided me with a list of organizations that help young people who are being cyberbullied and helped me report the incident to the police. I blocked the people harassing me, and 2 days later, the original post was taken down. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if something feels uncomfortable or unsafe, listen to your instincts. Most importantly, if someone you know asks you to share a private photo of yourself, don't do it. No matter what, it's not private, and once you put it out there, you lose control of what happens to it and can never take it back. I just don't want what happened to me to ever happen to anyone, especially not one of my friends.
Nina's right. I did feel uncomfortable texting a stranger. I'm gonna tell someone. Thanks, dude.
No problem, dude.
Olivia,
Yes.
that teaches an important lesson. Do
Thank
you
you.
feel that you're going to get across to kids, be careful, don't do things online? I mean, why did you do this?
Well, I think that the internet, it's such a new thing. It's like, it's kind
But
of
you
come
guys
out of
have
nowhere.
grown up with it.
I've grown up with it. Many other kids my age have grown up with it, so they're pretty familiar with it. And I think, in like public school, there's a rush to teach kids about safety, because it's a there's dangers as well as great things you can do on the internet. And I think that a lot of the time the kids are scared into learning the information instead of empowered to learn the information. And I think that with the internet, you should be reminded of the great things there are to do on the internet. You can share your art, you can share your personality, you can connect in ways that have never really been done before. And I think that having a toolbox to see what feels wrong on the internet. Is this person
So you're
approaching me in a
teaching a
way?
filter. You're
Yeah,
teaching a
exactly.
filter.
It's not don't go on the internet. We're gonna scare you into not doing anything at all. I think a lot of classmates, no matter what area of health, sometimes they feel scared by the information. They feel like they shouldn't do anything at all. And I think that's I think the wrong way to think about this. It's be empowered by what you're learning. Be empowered by your own knowledge, but trust your instincts. When something feels wrong, know things that you shouldn't do. Know things that feel safe. Have people to talk to if you're feeling unsafe. And I think that's what I wanted to get across.
Well, I think you did a great job with that. What has been the reaction to your animation by kids your age and younger?
Well, I kept on saying to the people at Amaze, I wanted to make something, an animated short that my little sister would like. And I think that's, I showed it, to my little sister, I showed it to my siblings, and they, they really liked it, because they're all about that kind of stuff. They're all about, crazy, dimensions, fun characters, and, all that kind of stuff. And, I recently shared it on Facebook, and I got a lot of, really positive responses to my work by my friends. And, even during the project, there was a couple people I told them, and I showed them, my rough work, and they were all just really supportive of me, and, I think that overall they were just impressed.
Is it better
able to-
seeing it in an animation, do you think, than hearing it from an adult, which sometimes that's uncomfortable to say that you made a mistake online?
Yeah.
Is that part of the intent here?
Yeah, I think that the visual medium is a very compelling medium, and I always found that the stuff that you remember the most typically is visual, because it's so universal. We see characters, we see simple characters, and we connect to them. And I think that sometimes the awkwardness of that is kind of it kind of goes away because you connect so deeply to a simple character. And I think yeah, the hashtag for Amaze is more info, less weird. And it can be weird in classrooms, having this adult tell you, about sex and about, staying safe and all this kind of stuff. And you kind of feel a little disconnected from it. But
Now, your animation is on amaze.org.
Yeah.
How did you first get connected with this organization?
I got connected. I got the opportunity to meet this guy named Kimson Albert, who's a director in animation. I showed him my work, and he really liked it. And then during like the beginning of my sophomore year, he emailed me, and he basically said, you know, I'm a judge on this panel of judges for a project called the Amaze Project. It's basically, you know, for 10 to 14-year-olds about sex ed and health. And, you know, it's a bunch of animated videos by people, and I would love to submit your name in this pool of animators. And I'm like, sure, I'll, you know, take a chance. I'll submit my work for you guys. And, you know, I sent it to them, and, you know, they're like, thank you so much. And then Kimson, you know, he kept telling me, like, you know, we don't know for sure if they're gonna pick you because you're so young, you're still in high school, you know, they might just not like your work. It's kind of like, you know, it was a spur of the moment kind of like, you know, he's like, but he just thought of me for that project. And for, you know, a couple months, we didn't hear anything back. And we were like, me and my dad were like, I don't know if we're gonna get picked. But, you know, at the end of December, in like the middle of the night, like I got this email that said, you know, congratulations, you were picked to be part of this project, and, you know, we're going to start in January, and, you know, you're going to be paid a real salary for your work.
Your first
And
job, right?
I know, it was my first job, and they're like, here, you know, it's an animation gig, and I'm like, this is so cool.
It
Like,
could lead to so many different things.
like, it was just awesome.
Now, you've spoken in Washington, D.C. Tell me
Yes.
about that.
Well, I spoke at this event called Girls Can Do, and it's, you know, basically an organization. It's basically, you know, it's girls talking to girls. It's, you know, because, you know, constantly, you know, women in like the work field are kind of, you know, put down a little bit. But it's, you know, it's basically Girls Can Do is to show younger girls that, like, look at all these jobs you can do. I met a Coast Guard. I met a woman who worked at NASA. I met the bassist for Beyonce there, and like they were all just there in this like theater in Washington. And it was, you know, I got up there and I spoke about Amaze and like my experience with it, and it was really nerve-wracking, but like it was just like so awesome because, yeah.
Olivia, do you see yourself as a leader and not just an animator, or perhaps both, that you're going to have this big message to the world through your animation?
I hope so. I mean, I think that animation is such a, it's, you know, people kind of like dismiss it. It's like, oh, it's just for kids, you know, it's just kids' cartoons. But sometimes animation can communicate like really deep messages and like really empowering messages. And yes, I hope that, like, you know, I can communicate positive messages through animation for like young people. Because, you know, with, you know, animation, that was my anchor in middle school. Like, you know, I got bullied, I got teased, but, you know, I always went back and I watched the latest episode of Adventure Time on Cartoon Network, and, you know, that like was a real great thing for me because it had like a positive message to it and had like, you know, really like great stories, and like it, like I think that's what animation is for. It's for people, you know, who kind of feel a little bit isolated, a little confused, but like, you know, there's like such simple, powerful message that it can convey.
Well, Olivia, I think you've already empowered a whole lot of folks.
Thank you.
And we're going to look for great things from you in the future.
Thank you so much.
You're only 17, so we're going to give you a little bit of time.
Yes.
But come
Yeah.
back when you are leading the world somewhere.
I hope so.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you so much, Anne. And you know, be sure to check out amaze.org. So, you know, there's a lot of information there for, you know, instructors and like teachers and parents that they can view on amaze.org, and you can see all the videos online on YouTube.
Great job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yay.
Made a trivial pursuit, spend one this in. Who's this girl? Spend all night kissing, and if was right here, then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked to find myself wishing to find the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Need to keep locked in the grocery store of my mind, just to save time. Skip right ahead to the last ride. The harder we look, the less we can see. Don't you know, you know, you know that you need me.